It's like the Abe Foxy Foxman from the ADL who has to fight. He's got to fight all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. He tends to like conflict a little bit.
Yeah. Now, there's economic advantage to conflict and the scarcity that it brings, though, right?
Well, sure. It's a vicious model, and it's the model that, in my opinion, the planet's been under for about 3,600 years, and that model is now failing. I don't know if it's based on the sun, moon, and stars or what. I don't know why it's worked so well for them. But wherever you see scarcity, you're going to see conflict. Right now, if you're not bringing in a paycheck in your house, if you don't have a job, if there's some scarcity, there's going to be conflict, and they love that. They
Right.
love that. There's several different control features that come out of it, but it's the model in general. If you go look at a corporate takeover, whoever has less scarce money, whoever has more money, whoever can get around scarcity is going to dominate the conflict. Um, and there's actually a movie coming out called Avatar, Avatar, and the movie's about us going to a foreign world. We go to the foreign world with this big multicultural, multiracial army because they have a scarce resource, and we got to take it over. It's a failed model. It's not a White Rabbit model because we turn sand into silicone. We
All
don't
right.
believe in scarcity.
Let's back up a couple thousand years, and let me throw out maybe a reason why this not that matters, but a reason why this model came into effect is that early on, before technological advancements, there was not enough food to go around, and so on and so forth. And in fact, in this world today, there's still not a lot of food to go around for a lot of the population. But something set the white rabbits apart from the other rabbits, and that was our ability to overcome that scarcity. And you made that apparent to me. I think I heard in one of your last shows a great line that I've been repeating to people, which is that most of the world is starving. They'd kill to have one of our chicken fried sandwiches or chicken fried steaks, and we're sitting watching chicken fried steak eating contests on TV. I love that. But it's true, and we overcame scarcity. Why have we done it and the other rabbits haven't? I mean,
Well,
what?
there's one simple reason, and most of your stormfronters instinctively know this. It's because race is real. We have a little strand in our DNA. That strand in our DNA is connected to something we can't comprehend. But whatever it is, we overcome scarcity. We do abundance. We do abundance so much we can feed Africa. If you have a couple white rabbit farmers, they'll feed all of Africa from Zimbabwe. Once they come out, they all starve. We do abundance, and we do it. We've always done it. We've done it, and we do it bigger and better over the past so many hundreds of years. Especially in the past 50s, past 50 years, it's become outrageous. But we do abundance. We get around scarcity. We always have. I don't have whys. You get into the deep essence of our DNA. The simple explanation is because race is real.
Right, and it goes farther than just being able to feed ourselves. You have a phrase you use on your show called the Godzilla or the Green Goddess. What do you mean by that?
Green Goddess is basically what I label our creative ability. She's our emerald girl. She's got her tail that can move side to side, but she can also breathe fire on you. She's all our creative ability that we can't really calculate, and most of the listeners have always taken it for granted. They're looking at an internet right now that is basically raw white rabbit creativity. They don't know how it came about. Most of them don't know all the stories behind it. I don't even know all the stories behind it, but it's there, and we just take it for granted as immediately as it shows up. But most of the world is starstruck by this stuff. The Arabs, I remember growing up around Arabs, and they would consistently, Muslims, they would consistently ask me, they would say, Horace, what happened to you guys? Because at one time their world was very wealthy, very powerful, and they said, Europeans just one night just sparked, and you started doing all this crazy stuff, all the stuff you come up with, all the weapons and everything. And you can't really explain it.
Airplanes,
Right.
internal combustion engines, nuclear bombs.
So on, so forth, etc. The list is just mind-numbing to the average rabbit in the world, except the white rabbit's just taken for granted. But I call that our Godzilla. We can't really explain it yet. We'll just call it Godzilla. There's no explanation for it, but it's there. It's immovable.
Now,
Right now,
the internet in particular really changed. It threw the pink rabbits for a loop, didn't it?
oh my goodness, yeah, they were sitting ducks. They controlled the media, but what happens if a new media comes on that you can't control? Oh no, they didn't even see it coming. They didn't see it coming until all their media companies were going bankrupt, and they still don't understand the effects.
Right.
and they couldn't do it. They've tried to regulate it because regulation is a form of taxation, and regulation and taxes create scarcity. That's how they do things. But they can't. They've never been able to do it up, and even now it's not. We're not regulated here. We're able to speak freely, and so it's just given them fits ever since they first realized what it was doing.
What has it done? What has the internet? I mean, because the internet, as soon as it came up, sites like Stormfront started popping up. It was almost like something that was waiting for an outlet. And what did that do to the mindset, or what is it doing to the mindset of the White Rabbits here in America and in European nations?
What it's allowing us to do is communicate freely and control the energy flow. We're controlling the media now. We're controlling the new media. You want to control Fox News? Well, we don't control Fox News today, but we do control everything online. I mean, we own the net. We own the net. Stormfront, the hits the thing gets are just outrageous. Even the mundane site like VDare, the hits they get are just outrageous. The type of downloads yours truly got for the month of November, and I don't advertise, no one even knows about me, are just outrageous if you come out with something new for White Rabbits. They're all starved for an outlet to speak. They're all starved for an outlet of someone speaking out for them. And what it did was it gave us a new medium, the internet, and we have dominated this energy. We've dominated this pipeline, if you will.
How long do you think it'll be before this exposure to sites like Stormfront, a massive interest in it, has an effect on the culture in America?
Well, by the time there's two ways. There's two ways to overcome psychological warfare or brainwashing or active measures. There's two ways to overcome the pink rabbits and their psychological warfare. The one way is to take over their media, which was never done. Another way would be if a new media comes out and the new media totally destroys them. But once that new media comes out, it takes about 15 to 20 years because that's how long it takes to get a new generation underneath the new media. And that's what's happened. That's what's been going on. So right now, it's starting to really, really take effect. How long does it take to brainwash a nation? Well, it takes 15 to 20 years because that's how long it takes to put out the textbooks to educate the one generation in the ideology you want to educate them in.
Well, and stepping back and looking at the culture and the attitudes of Americans, say over the past 100 years, you can clearly see that we have been brainwashed by all of those movies, all of that television, all of those textbooks, all of those academics that hate white rabbits. We've definitely seen that happen because you could go back 100 years ago and the average American, his attitude was definitely what would be considered to be radical racist today.
Oh, sure. Anti-racism is just a code word for anti-white.
Right, because... Yeah, back then, whites were not ashamed. Actually, they were quite proud of their nation and their race.
Sure. But what they've done is they've controlled this media and they beat the living daylights out of them. The challenge is, for all the little white rabbits listening, is one simple challenge, and this is huge. This is epic. This is something most of the Stormfronters have missed. You're still white rabbits. They haven't changed you. All they've done is irritated you.
Yeah, that's true. Now, when we think about this internet and what it's done to the media, it kind of makes me, when you look at the media, and there's only maybe just a handful of corporations that control almost all of the media, whether you're talking about newspapers or radio stations or television and movie studios. I mean, I think it's as few as 5 or 6 corporations control almost all of this. And what you have is an extreme bottleneck. I mean, even within the pool of reporters or anchors that do news programs and make opinions, they're able to put out these litmus tests, and they're able to bring in people that will only toe that party line. And so it's a really, really tight bottleneck. It's scarcity, if you will. And the internet has just completely done away with scarcity, and that's something that we really just do time after time after time, is eliminate scarcity, isn't it?
Yes, we give them fits. We're the rabbit they can't control. We're the rabbit that gets out of the box and starts running. You can control an anthill forever. You can control beavers because they only build beaver dams. You cannot control white rabbits because you don't know what they're going to come up with. And once they come up with something, it doesn't matter whether it's the television or the internet. Once we come up with it, they have to spend all their resources in trying to control it. You know, we're not interested in controlling anything. We just want